is a new school, college, university, maybe new classroom, new teacher, new friends. Maybe all that's causing you lots of anxiety. Or maybe you're a parent that's starting to get really anxious about your child heading to school or university.
Or maybe it's just the thought of post-COVID or COVID itself that is making you feel anxious. If so, here's some tips to help.
So we're parents as well, so we do kind of understand that normal build-up to a start of a new term, and that in itself can be quite stressful, but times are a little bit different right now, and I think that, you know, with everything that's been happening, that prospect and all these new starts are kind of quite stressful time.
And the thing is, being a parent, children copy your behaviour as opposed to listening what you tell them to do. You know, so you've actually, even if you're struggling yourself, you've got to fake it for your children's sake. And you've got to be strong for their sake.
Yeah, I think that by faking it, actually, that will help you. So if if your child's going away to school, college, university, you're feeling really anxious about it, then like Nick said, you can't show that to them. You know, you are their role model. However, if you are faking it and you are pretending to put this sort of like brave front on, that is not only good for them, but it's also really good for you, because you can actually diminish those feelings of anxiety. It's kind of like you're tricking your brain into believing that actually everything is okay, because we've got no choice over this. You know, it's happening regardless, so we've got to make the best of it.
But the great thing about actually faking something is that your brain can't tell the difference between something that you strongly visualise and something that's actually happened. So even if you're just faking it until you take your children to school or they get to school and then you come home and go, oh, you know, it doesn't matter. But that's something that's really important, because your children will pick up on your behaviours.
Now, if you're someone that's going back to school and, you know, you're going to try and make it as exciting as you possibly can. So do whatever you need to do. That might be, you know, just a new pencil case or a new pair of shoes or even a makeover, get your hair done. But just something that on that first day of school gives you that little boost of confidence and that kind of little flutter of excitement.
Those boosts are really important, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Oh, and I know that another thing that, you know, for people that are feeling really anxious about starting school, parents going back to taking the children back to school, you know, that I suppose it's because of uncertainty and it's kind of all a bit unfamiliar.
I think because of coronavirus,
definitely,
you know, our certainty has been taken away from us, so you've got to try and get as much certainty in your life as possible. And one thing about getting back to school is getting that structure back into your life.
Yeah, and the good thing that you can do to create a bit of certainty on that first day is if right now on that build up, if you've not yet started back, if you now start to sort of jump in the car and do that drive to school, or if you're walking, you know, start walking that journey. So
the school rehearsal, basically.
Yeah, definitely, that's exactly. So you kind of, that part of the day, so that very beginning part, you're already familiar with, because that'll kind of just start the day with reassurance.
But a rehearsal is really good, especially if it's a new school, because obviously some people are going from primary to secondary schools or just changing schools in general. So it's important, you know, get your child used to going to that new school, get them used to the journey, get them used to, you know, I mean, even if you can, we've heard of some schools where the teachers will allow you to go into the classroom and get used to the, you know, familiar to the school itself.
Yeah. So if you are struggling, the other thing that you can do right now is start to weigh up the benefits of going back for you and for your child.
And obviously from a cognitive point of view, an academic point of view, school is really important.
It really is, and it's good for, so, you know, if you're going back to school, college, university, it's great for your cognitive development, it's great for your mental health, it gives you the opportunity to chat to people, it's a really positive distraction, obviously you're learning as well, so that's all really great stuff, and obviously that's going to help you in the future. But as a parent, and it can be quite hard, you know, whether if you know you've been with your children all these weeks and then suddenly they're kind of fleeing the nest, whether that be for the day or for a full term if they're going to college or
so essentially
uni.
Both parents and children can have an element of separation anxiety.
Yeah, but the important thing to do with that is because obviously your child's going to be more distracted because they've got so much going on, but you need to find things to distract you now, and maybe make this time a little bit about you as a parent. Maybe now's the time to do some baking or to follow up on those hobbies that you've always wanted to do, or that little part-time job or that little bit of charity work, but just things to help occupy your mind in a positive way.
And if you're bothered about, I suppose some people will still have concerns about coronavirus. Is it safe? The thing is, the government have made strict guidelines.
Yes.
And they're aware of the people that are vulnerable, which is, they're happy for the schools to reopen. So if you follow their guidelines and they're monitoring, and you know that the school themselves or the universities will be taking precautions in line with those guidelines, that we should all be safe.
Yeah, I mean, when we're doing anything new, it always feels a bit weird or a little bit stressful or a bit scary at first. It's always that way. But that first day, within, it's just one day, and very quickly it becomes the new norm, and you will settle.
It becomes back routine again.
It does, and routine is just so good. But a little technique that we'd like to share with you as well, and this is for students and parents. It's kind of it's based on an acupressure point, which is kind of just here between your thumb and your index finger, and it's just there. And what you can actually do,
that fleshy bit,
little fleshy bit, is just massage it in a little round circle, and as you're massaging it, and just a little bit of gentle pressure, sort of in that little cavity there, just in the webbing. What you want to do is you're going to move it in a round circle. You're going to close your eyes, and you are going to see yourself being really confident, that brilliant first day at school, or seeing your child go on their first day and see it really positive, really bright, it going really well, and see yourself as being really calm. And you can actually start doing that now. Now, by doing that now, you will actually kind of anchor some positive feelings, some calmness into this pressure point. And when you on that first day, if you're feeling in any way awkward or stressed or anxious, you've got it there as a comfort blanket. Just give it a little bit of a press, just that little circular movement.
But essentially, because you're thinking of the school or university, when you're doing that, then those feelings are linked to that, so that then becomes a trigger for those good feelings in that situation.
Exactly, so it'll help you to feel a little bit better.
Hopefully these tips have helped, and hopefully this will help you take the first step to some normality and structure back into your life, where we can all get back to normal.
And don't forget, if you are struggling with anxiety or panic attacks or issues around self-esteem, do take a look around our YouTube channel, because we have got so many films on there to help. So do take a look around, and obviously we'd love you to subscribe so that you can be kept informed as we add a new film.
Every Monday and every Thursday.